Hello everyone. This next video is on the second handout on Analytic Talk, and this is a handout that you would want to read before you take your practice exam, as well as when you're trying to really understand and have a deep understanding for your final. This is the table of contents. It's published by an early childhood organization called HighScope. And the key piece to this is it has lots and lots of good information, but we have previewed the Reading Rockets article, and this just substantiates that. It tells why we read out loud to children. It shows how it might look in small group when we're reading out loud to children. And it also goes into the thing about talk and conversation. I don't know if you remember, but we have recently read the chapter from our textbook on talking, so we know that you can't deeply comprehend unless you're talking. This shows talking with a couple of students about a book, engaging them. This is the piece that I really, really want you to wrap your head around, and I want you to keep this. And I love this because it really talks about how we support comprehension. When we're asking questions and when we are in conversation with students, using comments and certain techniques in our own speech can really help us. So on the left-hand side, we have the question and the comment type. Then they give us an example, and then they say, use this when. I really like that format. So if we want a factual detail from a student, that if they were listening at all, they would know the answer to, such as, what does Ruthie find at school? And we don't want to ask that question unless the detail is important to understanding the text. So that is critical because deep comprehension sometimes does rely on a detail that is in the text. And if we miss it, particularly as a young reader or as a young child, then we won't get the meaning of the text. So factual detail is one kind of question or one type of comment that we might make to find out where the student is in their understanding and if they have been attending. Inferential is very, very important. You can see that I have my cursor on it and I'm going to highlight it. Those are much higher level than the factual details. You're asking why questions. And you might remember when we were working on the interactive read aloud and Reading Rockets, there's a lot of opportunity to ask why questions. An example of an inferential or a why question would be, why does the boy run back home? Then a reason or the rationale, we use this when the text does not ask the question directly, but the answer is important. It doesn't tell us why the little boy in the story ran back home or why something happened. So that is an inference. We make an inference when we use our background knowledge and information about the world, and we are making an inference even though the book does not tell us. Opinion, when you're asking, what do you think? And I do that a lot, even in my college classes. And we use that when there's potential for many different answers. It also helps you to really understand who your students are and from where they're coming. So another kind of question or comment type is the bridge to experience. You're asking kids, have you ever? And we do that at the time when the text content may relate to the child's experience. We want to know what their experiences are. We want to know what their opinions are so we can know about them and we can understand them. Another question type is predicting. In other words, you're thinking, what's going on here? What do you think will happen next? You want to know if the students are really engaged in the book. Predicting is a way to keep them engaged. If they know you're going to be asking those questions, they'll be much more likely to attend. Emphasizing reading for purpose or using textual clues is the best way the best time to use these predicting questions. Remember, we're looking at emphasizing reading for a purpose or for text clues. So predicting is very, very, very important, and many of you are really, really good on that. Now, here is one that I really like that I found even as an older reader and an older writer, to focus on the text structure or the way that a text is built. We know that informational text and fictional text will have very different text structures. An example of the kind of question that we would be asking on the text structure would be, what is the problem for Ruthie? And we know that we want to use this when we are really teaching text structure. Okay, let's move on. Oh, shoot.